How you doing? Thank you very much for tuning in, folks. Just cracking on here with the Hocus Pocus house, or Sanderson's cottage. Started this on a previous stream. So we're just going to motor on through and try and get this one finished. Make sure to give us a wee hello in the comments. Hope everyone's day has been great. The weather's absolutely amazing over here in Northern Ireland. Right, so we've got our third and, well, final of the witches anyway. I think there's 6 minifigures in total, but there's only 3 witches. So this is kind of the older, more Haggerty one. Again, I don't really know their names. Hey Bricktears, how are you? So yeah, there we go. That's what she looks like anyway. So again, got prints on the front and rear of the torsos, and prints in the front and back of the head as well. And again, we've got like a little mole above the lip. So it's pretty cool. Hi, I'm Michelle. It's pretty cool set, yeah. So yeah, that's the three witches in situ anyway. So I think, like I said, I've just got a few people in that are going to pop round to the cottage. A few other minifigures, but that's all the witches in present. Yeah, I know. They know the score. Bricktears, just looking out for me there in case I get challenged, you know, on what I've been up to today. Okay, so we'll just crack on here with the walls. This is kind of like a very Tudor style building. It's actually very nice the way it's done. So there's a lot of kind of panels and boarding across the length and breadth of the building. So have you decided what to do with the Lego store? Yeah, will you go? I'll definitely go down. It's just what time I get down at. That's still sort of a bit of an issue for me. I am kind of really hoping to get in as early as possible, but I don't see me being there before 9:30 at the earliest, to be honest, which is a bit of a bummer, but I'll do the best I can. We'll see. What about yourself? Have you decided whether you want to have your day off yet, or have you sort of resigned yourself to the fact that that you're going to be in school? Here, do you know what? It's better than nothing. Like I said, the only reason that I'm such a rush to get there is just to get the store open, gift or purchase. It's really the tile that I want more than anything. I'm not so bothered about the wee set that you get, but I do really want the tile. I haven't actually seen confirmation of that set yet, but I would be amazed if it's not the same as what it has been for other recent store openings. And I know that when they sort of moved the Arndale store in Manchester, and when they reopened the new store, they had the Manchester one. So, but you never know. They might very well have a tile. I just don't know how quickly they're on out. I don't want to take any chance, as I'm sure you can appreciate. Hi everyone, thanks very much for tuning in. Just building the Hocus Pocus house here. Sanderson's cottage, whatever you want to call it. I always put these doors on back to front, and then they're a nightmare to get open, so I can put them on the right way. I'm sure there's got to be some sort of technique to getting into them, but there we go. Really enjoying this build so far though, I must say. It's pretty cool. This piece isn't in great condition. See, there's come sort of all scratched up and scraped on the side, which is a bit annoying. Yeah, make sure and drop us a wee hello in the comments, guys, if you're joining in. Let us know how you're getting on today. It's absolutely cracking day where I'm from. I don't know what it's like for everybody else, but we're basking in sunshine today, which is lovely. Summers are a bit indifferent here, so. Hey, Guts, hi Tricks. How you doing? Yeah, summers are a bit indifferent here. so we kind of have to enjoy the good when we get it. But yeah, actually, I'm enjoying this build. It's good. It's quite an interesting set. It's not massive. It's not terribly complex, but there's a lot of detail in it, which is neat. What's everybody else up to today? Any fun Lego builds planned for the evening? Or what are we all up to? That's not going to go on there, is it? Oh well. So yeah, I think we're just building sort of a wee shelf here, which is full of all sorts of funny bits and pieces. So once I finish that, I'll have a wee look. There's pretty much everything you'd expect from a witch's house. I would say, including copious frogs, no doubt, for spells. Oh, I've missed some bits here. Anyone tuning in built this set before? For anyone that's just arrived, it's just this set here we're building, the Hocus Pocus set. Sanderson's Cottage. It's from the Lego Ideas line, so it's set number 21341. So I actually got this on offer. It was on sale in Argos not so long ago, and it was about 25% off, I think. So I got it for a really good price. Okay, you've got like a whole load of different coloured frogs here. There we go. So just a little shelving with various sort of coloured bottles and a little bucket, little skull head, and then a few different coloured frogs. There's kind of like a wee section. I'll just let you have a wee look up close to the build for anyone that hasn't seen it. There's a little section in the corner here. It's got like a little counter and stuff on it. A really pretty place sticker by myself, which is actually in the wrong place as well. I'll just fix that. Yeah, so I can't remember what necessarily went on in this cottage other than the witches living in it, but presumably they had some sort of a little store here. There's this little twisty bit here where what gives the appearance of cards or something on. I'm not entirely sure what it is. And then lots of bits and pieces in here that they're selling. So if anyone has any more information on Sanderson's Cottage, do let me know. I have seen the movie, but I would certainly not label myself as being the biggest fan. No worries, Victors. Have fun. But yeah, I'm sort of a bit lost when it comes to the names of the witches and the characters and so forth. So I do apologise. Nice little candelabra here as well. I'm not sure. I love these here pieces with the sort of speckled effect on them. I think they're really neat. Where's that go? Yeah, like I said, there's absolutely mountains of detail in this set. It's literally chock-a-block with interesting little details, whether it be, you know, the various bits of shelving. There's like a water wheel which let me see. So it obviously spins and it activates this little sort of arm on the inside. So I'm not entirely sure what that leads up to. Again, I don't know from the movies or anything, but it's like a little area in here with various utensils and bits and pieces. So it's very good. There's lots of neat wee details in it. Okay, I've got another sticker coming up. I'm going to actually place this sticker on here now. I'll just be quiet for a wee second while I try and position this. bedroom. That's not too bad. Please do not touch. Everyone that's watching, how are we getting on? How's everybody doing today? Wait for you to say hello in the chat and let us know what you're up to. Please do not touch. That goes about there, I think. I'm gonna have to move the witches out of the way for now and find them wee space over to the side. They can take up their place again whenever I kind of finish up. Definitely one of my favourite lines. The Lego Idea sets, there's just such a variety of sets. I'm not quite sure now this is my favourite, but I do like this. I do like sort of complete builds. I like sort of when they produce houses and buildings and stuff like that, because whilst obviously this is very much a Hocus Pocus set, to all intents and purposes it could quite literally be just an old cottage in the wood, which is sort of how it'll be represented in sort of my layout. I'm just sort of picturing just a little sort of dark area sort of in the countryside, and then just this spooky house sort of out in the woods. Okay, oh, that's quite cool. So this is going to become like a little enclosed cabinet that a book goes into. So just using the wee window piece on a few hooks and bars, and just clips down. So we'll do the book here now with another couple of stickers to do. And then the book, it looks like a little spell book of some sort. So actually just came across a spell book on the last set I was building as well. Very different set, mind you, but it was the Dungeons and Dragons set. I don't know if you can kind of see it down in the background there. Sort of building that a piece a day. Well, not a piece a day. So let me make sure I get the right pieces on here. That goes like that. Yeah, I'm building it one piece for every new subscriber I get. So it's not the fastest of builds, but getting along slowly and surely. So if anyone hasn't checked it out, I have like a wee playlist in my shorts, sort of going through that set being built. And if you haven't subscribed, then I would absolutely love it if you would, and it would just help me get that set built a little bit quicker, and let everyone that's sort of following along see the final outcome. Okay, there we go. So that's a little book then there. There's just a wee sticker in the front and back just for the clasp, and just a wee bit of sort of detail on the leather. And then inside you can just see you've got this little spell book represented by a little tile. And then that's it, sort of enclosed within the casing. And there's just a couple of wee legs going that, and then that gets positioned into the house. And that's the side that please do not touch sign. So I think I have a recollection of that book. I think that was, if memory serves me correctly, there was a guy with like a magic store, and he had that book in the store. I think that's what happened, and the witches got it. Okay, now we've got the cauldron. This is where all the fun happens. All the witch fun anyway. And then we have loads of these kind of, I call them green grape. I suppose it could be anything, it could be ice cream, green grapes, whatever. Got a few of those then that go in here just to give the impression of something fun going on in the cauldron. There we go. And that just hangs up over this wee fire, which, oh, I didn't actually show this, but there's a little button on the side here, this little green button. And if you press that in, there's a little light brick in that kind of little fire pit there that the cauldron sits over, and that lights up. That's cool. Alright, so that's a pretty jam-packed floor there. We're just going to get back now to some of the wall pieces. What's everybody else up to this afternoon and this evening? Anything fun planned? Any sets being built? Any shows that we're watching? Where are you guys from? And what's it like where you are at the minute? I'm in Northern Ireland and it is stunning here. We've got a really nice day. I think it's like got across the most of the UK as far as I know, and presumably Ireland as well. The only problem is I need to be careful in the sun, so whenever it's super nice like this, I sort of spend most of my time out of it. But even still, it makes everybody else happy. And effort. I'm not sure what we're building here, but it's kind of going up a little bit. It's an archway. I've got an archway then. This must go out over this wall. I think there's like a little side build that goes on to under this section here. Presumably it has sort of an open entry then on the inside. In here. Oh, that's in the wrong place. Right, okay, so that's the archway built, and then we're just reinforcing it here with some plates. Awesome. Oh, there's a wee bit more, still a bit more building up to go on this here. I thought that was ready to go on the side of the wall, but it's not quite yet. Now. So this thing goes onto this side of the build, just kind of encloses that all really nicely. However, it would seem that I have, oh, I've missed a hole there. Whoops, it is. I think that goes, and that goes there. There we are. That's a bit better now. And there's just a couple more of the Technic hose, the brick of the Technic hose at the top there. So like I said, there's a wee building that attaches onto the side, so presumably that just clips onto these pieces here. And then you can take it off and put it back on as you see fit. And then we've just got this nice sort sort of wooden panel, and then it goes around the side. Like I said, it's just this nice sort of Tudor style build, and that just adds to those features. No, still not quite right here. There we go, that's what's nice. That's the end of that bag. So that's 5 bags down. A few wee spare pieces here, I'll just throw these over the side. And there we go, so build's taking shape nicely. I've got a nice bit of the sort of wall up on the side here. It's kind of all up to the same level then. It's not an open back set, so there will be a back goes on it. Maybe it's hinged, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, you can see there's quite a bit of detail in there. It's quite a bit going on. Quite a busy little set actually, but I like it. And then again, as I say, you've got the light brick then that just lights up the little fire pit underneath the cauldron. So the witches can brew up whatever it is they're brewing. Certainly not coffee. Sorry for the noise here while I open this bag. Okay, now we'll move on. So where are we at now then? Here we're just adding a bit more of the sort of framing that's going around the top of the wall, and that just holds it all together nicely. It was a wee bit just kind of trying to move this build back into focus a wee bit so you can see it as it's going up. Right, we're moving on actually to the next layer. Close this section off then. That's that all down, press down nice and firm, okay? So yeah, I think we're moving on to the upper layer. I wasn't sure if maybe we'd sort of work on this back first, or perhaps the wee hut that attaches onto this side, but we're going up top. Lots of nice sort of light tan masonry bricks too, just sort of adds to the detail. It's actually really well done, this. I think I've maybe got the door on the wrong way. I have. I'm gonna have to fix that. See if I can. Sorry, I just have to go back on a wee bit of what I've done because this door is not the right way around. It also is presumably missing this little handle. I think it's just one of these studs. Obviously I wasn't paying attention when I was doing that bit. Oh, the whole frame's on there on the round, so I'm going to have to just do a little bit of disassembling here to get this fixed. Bear with me. Hopefully it shouldn't be too hard. There we go. That's us. Now I'll put that level back on. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, so I was just trying to I was just talking about the kind of detail in the front. Oh, I don't know if it's spanner. Got one of the windows on the wrong way around too. You'd think I'd never built Lego before, wouldn't you? I do. I think this kind of comes out though. This window. It should be easy enough to turn around. Yeah, it is actually designed to just pop out. Don't know if there's like a wee play feature or something that will get built into that. Okay, so yeah, I was just trying to show sort of the detail in the front, just with the masonry bricks and things like that. Do you know, it was actually all fine. just have the window in the wrong way. There we go. Yeah, so just with the masonry bricks, and then we've just got this nice wooden panelings, sort of Tudor style, going across the building and up and down the building, and it just makes it, just gives it a lot of character, I think. And then the stickers on the door then are quite ornate as well. So. But anyway, back to building. Anyone that's just tuning in, thank you very much first and foremost for popping on, appreciate it. In case it wasn't obvious, and perhaps it isn't, we're building this set here at the minute. It's a Lego idea set. Anyone that's a fan of Hocus Pocus, it's the Sanderson's cottage. And it is set number 21341. So this has been out a couple of years anyway, I think, or it's in the second year. I got a little while ago. I've just kind of been sitting in my backlog, sort of waiting to be built. Yeah, kind of envisage using it as a sort of build within my layout somewhere. I don't particularly intend to include any of the more sort of ghastly and witchy sort of features. There's like weird flames coming out of the roof and stuff like that, so I'll probably dull it down a wee bit, to be honest. Just sort of better fits in with kind of what I'm trying to create in my layout. But for the most part, it should remain largely unchanged. It's a relatively nice building, and I think as I kind of alluded to previously, it sort of gives me the vibes. Just no cottage in the woods. So I can certainly use it for some stories. Perhaps with a couple of intrepid explorers that have ventured out in the countryside and stumbled across this house, and maybe some weird stuff happens, I don't know. I'm quite some way away from storytelling. I don't even have much of a layout yet, but at some point obviously we'll be starting to think about trying to give the layout a bit of life and trying to create little stories throughout. So this kind of provides a good opportunity to do that. It's maybe a good way. I do like to try and keep the minifigures with their set, so it might sort of present a good way to keep the minifigures sort of there as well. Right, this goes here. Very nice. Access upstairs isn't great. There is a stairway, but it's a very tight little walkway alongside whatever this mechanism is. So good luck to the witches getting up there. I'm sure they can magic their way up in their brooms. Okay, let us know what you think of the build in the comments. Give me your thoughts. Or if you have any ideas on maybe a way I could better use this in my layout. Sort of just generally. And do share. I sort of love to get other people's ideas. There's so much creativity out there, and it's kind of hard sometimes to come up with things nice to see how other people approach situations and, you know, other people's ideas. I do take a lot of inspiration from, you know, other people that I follow on here or on Instagram or wherever. We have some really, really creative folk out there. So, hey Apollo mate, how are you? Thanks for dropping in. This is one of the sets that wasn't in that big pile that you saw earlier. And just to prove that I do actually build sets, they don't all just sit there in boxes. How are you doing anyway? Mate, are you okay? How's your day been? So the walls are kind of built in like lots of little sections here. Just have to be careful. There's a bit of an overhang, so when you apply too much pressure, it kind of wants to come over a wee bit. Yeah, so the wall, like that's sort of I've done like half of the side and this front, and it's probably 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections there. So it's kind of an interesting way to build it. I suppose it makes it a bit easier to dismantle parts if you need to. So that's that bag nearly finished. It was a lot quicker, but it was mostly sort of larger parts in that bag. It was mostly pieces to build up these walls, which you can definitely get through a whole lot quicker than yeah, than sort of whenever you're doing some of that smaller interior detailing. Just to hold that all together. Now we've got a nice big spooky web going in. I don't know about you guys, but if I was a minifigure and I saw this web, I would not like to see the size of the spider. Compare that to a minifigure, and yeah, we're in all sorts of trouble if that spider comes after us. Anyone just joining, thank you first and foremost. Appreciate you dropping by, if even just for a second. We're just building the Hocus Pocus house, the Sanderson's cottage. So Lego idea set. It's a very neat build. So we're getting rightly through it. That's the 6th bag complete. I didn't actually count how many bags total there are. I can see a number 15. I don't see anything higher than that, so it must be 15 bags. So when we finish our next bag, we're got to halfway through it. But yeah, it's very cool. I like it. As I said, I'm not necessarily a huge Hocus Pocus fan, but I do appreciate the set. And you do get some cool minifigures. Oh dear. Oh sorry, I thought I'd missed a piece, but there it is. We're all good. Oh, right, so that's another bag finished, and that's us up to well up into the 2nd level there. So we just built up all of this wall the whole way around. So that's looking pretty cool. I do like it. It's a very neat design. Still a wee bit of tiles to put on here to sort of add to the panel in the front of the house, but it's really nice. So we'll move on to bag number 7. Yeah, there's a lot of smaller pieces in here. So presumably a little bit more sort of detailing. Also it looks like a skeleton. Excuse me. Right. Let's get to it then. So we'll start with a wee bit more of the actual building itself. I'm not sure where this is going to go. This might be this little section down here. I've got these nice palisade bricks here. I do like them. So many. Actually, it's taken a bit of time there recently trying to sort a load of bulk Lego that I've purchased. All sort of second hand. And I needed to. It needed cleaned and well washed and sort of dried off, and then I thought, you know, when I have it at this in this way, I'll sort of try and sort a wee bit as well. And it just amazes me how many different sorts of Lego bricks there are at the minute. It just kind of makes the whole process of trying to organize it into something, you know, cohesive that makes it easy for you to find the stuff you're looking for. So I ended up actually just stopping the sorting and just washing and firing it all into one big box. So someday in the future I'm going to have some serious sorting to do, and I don't really know the best way to do that, nor for that matter am I particularly looking forward to it. But I suppose when it comes down to kind of working on the layout, I'm going to need as many pieces and parts as I can get my hands on, and realistically the more you have it sorted, the easier it is to find your way around stuff. So I will have to do it at some point, but I just don't know when. Not particularly in the mood. It'll take a lot of work. The shot's very quiet tonight. Go sweet hi, let us know that you're there. Goes without saying that I appreciate everyone who joins in. It all helps massively. It's kind of fun to share these builds with other people as well. Especially if it's something that you don't have the opportunity to build yourself. This is an interesting little spot that's being built up here. I don't know exactly where this is going to position itself, but it's very cool. So we have our little skeleton build coming up now. So I love these skeletons. They're so cool, especially with their individual arms and legs. They've almost got more character than some minifigs. There you go. There's our little skeleton. I don't know who that's meant to represent in the show itself, but I don't know if we want to give him a little name for the benefit of future stories. So anyone that's watching, you want to help me name this little skeleton, then fire a name in the comments, and before I sign off, if there's been any interesting ones, I'll choose whatever I think's best. I'll kind of reiterate that later on as well. Okay, and then this goes on up here. Very nice. Makes those stairs a little bit more daunting now too. Not only are they steep and have you very little clearance, but you have this creepy, spooky skeleton awaiting you as you go up the stairs. Oh, daisies. As I said, guys, help me name the skeleton. When this goes into the light, I want to sort of create some stories around this house, so I'd love to give the skeleton a name. So drop a wee comment if you can come up with a creative name for it, and you know, whatever I think sounds best, I'll choose something. Not the most sort of creative or imaginative people, so I'm not even going to get the ball rolling. Sorry, I've got a couple of stickers to put on here now, and they're quite big, and they're so I just want to make sure that I get this on neatly. There we go, so there's the first one. I'm not entirely sure what all these things represent hanging up here, but they're like little dusters, and there's like a tooth of some description. So these are just positioned sort of in at the side of the stairs, and I suppose they just create a wee bit of sort of an internal feature there. And then I've got one more sticker to pop on here. This one has got like, it's got a picture frame on it and some garlics hanging and some dried flowers or something by the looks of it. There we are. That was pretty easy, so there we go. That's the second sticker then that's going on. So that just goes into this corner then. Looking good. Alright, now we're adding to this contraption then that is powered by the waterway here. So we'll hopefully have a bit more of an idea as to what it will be once it's complete. And then also the bars now go up a little bit higher, so that just kind of stops them from flopping about as much. Thanks, Red Frog. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for tuning in. If someone enjoys it, then it's absolutely worth it. So I'm really sorry for the noises in the background. I don't know what my daughter's up to, but she's making an almighty racket. Okay, so I'm still none of the wiser as to what this is. I thought it was maybe going to be some sort of a mill or something like that, but I really don't know. There you go, answers on a postcard. What do you think this is going to be? So obviously we've got this water wheel on the outside. It turns around. It turns around and it moves this sort of arm on the inside. So I don't know exactly what that's going to be. We've got this interesting little contraption here too. So 1 second, my daughter's looking at my laptop charger, so I'm just going to hand it out here. Here, Olivia, I'll need it back if I run out. Would you keep the noise down a bit as well, please? Yeah. And watch. Yeah, it's very cool, Red Frog, isn't it? It's a really awesome set. I'm kind of glad I picked it up and started building it. Still don't know what this is going to be. Hi, old Gautier. Apologies if I haven't said that right. Thank you for dropping by and saying hello. Yeah, no, it's lovely, especially this little profile here on the side. It's nice. There's still a wee bit of paneling that has to go on, which I think will will sort of add a wee bit more sort of detail and interest to it. But it's looking very cool. It's a really neat build. And then I don't know if you saw the inside terribly well, but it is getting a wee bit dark now, just with that sort of upper floor going on. But there's a little light brick there as well, which activates the little fire pit below the cauldron, so that's quite cool. It is 2,316 pieces, so it's big enough. It's not massive, but it's a big enough set. Sort of given the size of some of the things that Lego are putting out these days, it's a relatively modestly piece set, I would say. But what I will say is, especially for doing it on live, I'm really rattling through it. Yes, to be honest, whenever I first put that little pit in there, it didn't sort of occur to me what it would be. But it's a nice little touch, and it's kind of nice. It is quite subtle, sort of the mechanism. It sits underneath the building. I think there's a wall that goes on the rear of the building here. I'm pretty sure it's not an open back build. But it is quite subtle and underneath there. And I think sort of when I'm building this into my lay, I'll probably just, in order to try and keep that accessible, maybe add a little bit of foliage in and some sort of mechanism with a wee arm that you can kind of poke. That gets in through, but we'll see. Alright, so I've got a bookcase now. So again, one of the things that has impressed me most about this set is just the sheer amount of detail in it. Especially downstairs, there's just tons and tons of stuff, so it's very cool. And that is continuing now upstairs. Lots of sort of little nooks just filled with bits and pieces. And obviously now I've got this little bookcase that's going in. It is just a tiny little bookcase. It just pops up into this corner up in here. And then with some tiling then it goes in around that. Yes, absolutely. It is very, very detailed. I think it would be a much more interesting and exciting build if I understood a lot of the references. The only thing I will say is there's no support on this plate here, and it's a reasonably big plate. It's like a 16x8 plate. So when you sort of apply any pressure at all, it does flex quite a bit, so I'll just need to be careful with that. But yeah, I don't really get a lot of the references, so a lot of it's kind of lost on me, but okay. Right, so we've got some broomsticks going in. Oh, this is very tight. I can't quite get this pressed through. There we go. So we've got two wee broomsticks as well. One of them's just kind of sitting haphazardly in the corner here, which I don't think's ideal. It feels weird that it's meant to be that way, but there we are. So that's just them up in there. So this one, like I said, it's just kind of falling over. It doesn't actually prop against anything. It just sort of sits in that corner, like so. No problem, Red Frog. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good evening. So this looks like a bed, potentially. I presume all three witches sleeping together. I guess given the space they have to them, afforded to them, they probably would have to. Very nice colours. Some of this little tile work here is lovely. It's a wee bit flickering. It's hard to sort of get them all straightened up and lined up, but it's looking really good. Just trying to use the brick separator to sort of straighten them up a wee bit. So that's the first one done. Just pop the next one in here. And the last one is nice red and dark red, or reddish, brownish red, whatever you call it, I can't remember. Reddish brown. Lovely. So that's the bed. There we go. You see the 3 wee beds there side by side, one for each witch, so it just kind of matches up with their outfits. I suppose we've got kind of this purpley pinky one, or greeny, and well, reddy, I don't know, it's being a bit generous there with that, but right, and then this goes in here. It goes right alongside the bookcase. Press that down. There we go. I'll just turn that around a bit so you can see it there with them. Sort of doing the next little section here. Next up we have a vacuum cleaner. If memory serves me correct, this is one of the witch's brooms. So she scoots around on a vacuum rather than a broom. Why not? And we've got the wee lid coming out of the back of it. There we are, so that's the little vacuum cleaner build down. So like I said, I'm pretty sure that's one of the modes of transport for one of the witches. And that just sits in this corner as well. Oh, I was missing a piece off it actually. There's a hockey stick that goes onto it. Oh, that will be the handle. It's all getting very tight up in that corner now. There's a lot going on. And then just a wee sort of bedside table, and there's just a barrel with a few bits and pieces on it. And then there's one more broom here then, but this one doesn't look like a broom that is currently in use, rather a broom that is displayed. So again, I don't know the movie and the lore of it terribly well, so I won't be able to contextualize this, but I'll let you have a wee look at it anyway. Maybe somebody else will know a bit more about it than I do. It has like 2 bushels on it too, so it's a pretty special one. Alright, and then it just attaches onto the edge of that. So there we go. I believe that's the end of that bag. Yeah, it is indeed. So I'll just put those spare parts over out of the way and just let you have a wee look down at this top section then. So again, as I've mentioned previously, this is a detail packed build. It's amazing, in fact, the amount of stuff that's in it. There you can see obviously all the brooms and stuff in the corner in the vacuum. We've got the beds, little table, and then this little broom is hanging up here as well, so looking good. So we'll get bag 8, and then that might do us for tonight. That's sort of around about the halfway point. or maybe just slightly over. Hard to tell. This shouldn't take us too long because it's a lot of bulkier parts. So I think we're kind of really building up some of the walls here. And we'll just start off with a few more wee, bits and pieces to go down the front here. So including a very interesting little sort of piece here. This nice little cylindrical brick. It's quite hard to see, and I don't know if I'll be able to get that to focus or not. Apologies, it's a bit difficult. I'm not actually sure if I can. No, anyway, so it's got the 3 little witches on it and a cauldron and a few little details, so some nice little print details on there. And then a little black flame coming out of it. And that goes on there. I'll turn the build around once I've added these wee pieces in, and we can have a wee look at it in a bit more detail. I do have another sticker coming up here, so I'll have a wee quiet moment we have to put that on. In fact, there's not too many left. I've only got another 3 stickers after this one, so. Alright, so that went pretty well, so there you go. Just that little sticker there. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's maybe talking about this little flame that I've just put in. So this is kind of, so I'm detecting that there's sort of a museum aspect to this house. So there we go, that's just a wee bit that I've added in there. So you just see this little black pedestal then with that nice little printed cylinder brick there with a black flame coming out of it, and then just this little sort of stand here that has a few details on it from through that sticker. Yeah, so there's definitely a museum element to this. So that just really highlights my ignorance. Should really have watched the movie again before starting this. It was a very last minute choice of a set though, I must say. Because we've got another wee sort of fence barrier here that goes up along the front of this. Okay, yeah, I'll just try and move that so it's a bit more in shape. Turn around and just doing some of the external details. There's a bit of photos then that goes up on this wall. I actually thought it was going to be a bit more sort of paneling and things, but looks like we've got some foliage. It's a bit of everything actually. It's just kind of finishing this sort of section off then, adding some sort of brown wooden paneling then that kind of frames off a lot of the build. And again, just adds to that sort of Tudor look that is being represented. I'll spin it around once I've added the leaves on here. So presumably depicting the fact that this house is in a little bit of disregard perhaps, because it is a bit messy. Hey Britain Bricks, how are you? Yes, it's looking great. It's a really impressive build. It's just absolutely laden with detail. I'll give you a wee tour about the wee bit. So we're sort of fast approaching the halfway point here. So right, so that's how that side looks now. So that's pretty cool. I like that. There's really good detail there. Like I said, we've got these sort of wooden beams in then as well that just kind of finish off the look there and that sort of Tudor style. So it's very cool. Pretty impressive. I like it. So we're just going to carry on then, but looks like we're working our way around the side of the build, adding all of these tiles in. Apparently something's not right here. What am I missing? See, I've already got one on there, but apparently that shouldn't be there, but in which case I don't really know where it's meant to be. I'll come back to that. I'll just add these all along here then. Pieces gone flying. Ugh. Oh man, that sucks. There's nothing worse, especially when it's so nice outside too, and you kind of want to try and enjoy it, and you're just feeling miserable under the weather. Hope you get over it soon. Yeah, the binder need. Just that whole side actually is lovely. So I suspect that that is meant to be there, and that's meant to be there. There we go. So I'll probably just finish off this bag here, and then, but I'll see what time it is. I don't kind of want to drag this on for too long tonight. Right, so this is quite encouraging. We have some hinge bricks going on here, or the sort of clipped ones. So this is going to be at the back of the building, and it does just sort of hinge over to enclose it, which I like. I was reasonably confident it wasn't open back. Could have just checked it before, but oh, sucks. Have you been off for long? I had nearly 3 weeks off there, and last week was my first week back, but it was fine. You have to kind of get back to it at some point, don't you? Okay, so kind of both floors are building up at the same time, so it's quite a substantial section, this. It's nice, because obviously Lego idea set, so it sort of won't be modular the way the sort of Lego modulars are, but it's kind of good that they sort of enclose it, but add that sort of openable back onto it, so that you can access the rear of the building if you sort of want to get in and play a wee bit with it. Let's see how these attach then. Wicked. Alright, so there we go. That's the first of these bits on. And it's actually just occurred to me as well that does close up the little button that you can click to light up the fire pit below the cauldron, but there are Technic bricks here, the 2x1s with the holes in them, so you could presumably stick a wee something through there to sort of poke it. Maybe one of the witch's brooms or something. So you will still sort of indirectly have access, but it's also concealed as well. It doesn't require a huge amount of contact, to activate it anyway, so I can't see it being much of a problem. Yeah, well, I suppose you could play the system and have them changed over to sick leave, get back a few holidays. The open back wouldn't have been a problem, but I just like enclosed backs. I suppose it depends where it's going to feature in my layout. If it's in a position where you can see the open back, then I just don't think it looks good. But it would have been easy enough to close over anyway. But there's a nice kind of compromise here. I like the way they've done it. the same old Lego City sets. I have loads of them that are, and obviously they're very simple sets, but I kind of like them and like the idea of utilising them, but just they all have open back, so they'll kind of need enclosed and filled in a wee bit. Unless I can sort of position them maybe like in, I don't know, I had sort of hoped that in one section to have like wee railway arches or something and build them sort of embedded in the railway arches. So I suppose you could sort of slide a wee open back set into something like that. But it's all good, they've kind of considered it all. There we go. And that's it. So there's it all enclosed as well. And then let's see if I can find a wee bar or something here. Alright, we've got a guy from the Berkeley designer program Wild West train here who has a pitchfork. So I suspect that if I put that in here, maybe not. So it doesn't quite seem to. So it might need a wee. I don't know if there's anything you can do about that. The hose are kind of aligned in such a way that you can't really get a good purchase on the wee mechanism that you press in. So I'll take it back. It's really not the end of the world, but there we go. So that is the sort of main section of the house, all fully built up then to roof height. So we just have this wee building on the rear here that needs to clip on. Let's have a look. I'll do bag 9 and then I'll wrap it up there. It's not a massive, well, it's big enough actually. There's a lot of smaller pieces in here, but there's a wee bit more sort of exterior work as well, a wee bit of environment with terrain and stuff to be added on. I quite like that. I'll just sort of finish it off a wee bit. So that goes at the, okay, so now I understand the reason that these Technic pins are here. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. Kind of overlooked that. I think about ring these designers, don't they? But yes, I've also now identified the reason for the Technic pinholes as well, and that will become evident fairly soon. First one on. Sorry, I'm just concentrating. Just want to get this wee bit finished because it kind of highlight what the purpose of those little Technic codes were for. I thought, like I said previously, I thought they were maybe just to allow you some sort of access into the little mechanism for activating the light brick, but that wasn't the case. And there's just a little bit of sort of external work going on, a wee bit of rock work and a bit of sort of greenery and foliage then. And there we go. So last kind of those technicals were just allow you to clip those little bits that are on the side, the bit of rock work and a little bit more vine and some leaves and stuff as well. I don't actually know. I didn't really sort of allude them much. Looks like it's maybe sort of working up toward the roof, maybe the sort of eaves or something in the roof. We'll find out very soon. I'm sort of just about to crack into it right now. So I kind of thought it might have been the wee building that goes on the side, but that's obviously further down. So I don't know. There's maybe chimney. It's the chimney. That's what it is. So the chimney shaft and the chimney itself then. Okay, and I now, right, it's starting to make a bit more sense. I now understand what the mechanism that is fed from the water wheel does. It's much less exciting than I thought. I suppose it's a neat little addition, but it's not kind of what I was expecting. Yeah, I don't know. There's a window and stuff sort of in that section of the build, so presumably there is a bit more detail up there. And you know, if the rest of the set is anything to go by, they haven't really held back when it comes to sort of packing it out. So I'll be reasonably optimistic that there will be a wee bit more sort of fun to be had up in the eave section of the build. That'll be on another night and another bag, I'm afraid. Once I get this done, then I'm going to wrap it up. Try to get finished off before my wife and whatnot get home. There we go. It does, yeah. It operates the, well, fairy one word for it. It's some weird, funky, sort of iridescent, purpley pink flame, which is cool, I suppose. And well, no doubt look a whole lot better whenever the actual full chimney is built up around it. Oh, wrong colour. Just noticed the two different shades of grey. There's a dark bluish grey there as well, and that it didn't even occur to me that I was previously building in light and started building in the dark there, but I noticed just in time. Yeah, white would make a bit more sense if you're trying to sort of tone the build down a wee bit, I suppose, make it a little less sort of whimsical and witch-like and a bit more sort of real. So I might actually have a wee look on Bricklink or on Pal and pick up a few of those. I suppose the only thing I will say is there's no actual fire or fireplace underneath that chimney, so I don't really know. Not sure where the flames are coming from. Crud. That's what I'm wrong. jumped a wee bit ahead in the instructions there. No, it is a cool colour. I have no problems with the colour whatsoever. Just in a quest for realism, it doesn't quite fit in. Yeah, but it is good. I do like it as a colour now, I must say. But again, as I said, I kind of would like the fact that it's in the layout with a little bit of a story involved, you know, so again, they might be able to incorporate that colour into the layout, sort of by developing a wee bit of a storyline around it. Who knows what? I don't know what will be going on now, but you know, we could probably come up with something interesting. Oh, is it? Magic in its absence and functionality, I suppose. Okay, am I the question? There we go. So that's the chimney on, and then if we spin this, you can see the flame popping up and down. Very cool. That's just a nice retouch. It's an interesting wee sort of feature, isn't it? Okay, so we're going back inside now and building up the bed a little bit more. So. Oh, a nice 4-poster bed. Wouldn't expect any less for the 3 charming ladies that live in here. Yeah, absolutely. And we wouldn't want to sort of quash imagination there, would we? It can be whatever it wants to be. And this kind of adds a wee bit of stability actually as well, that sort of platform that I was complaining about earlier, just with that sort of bed being propped back against the rear wall. So. Alright, now I've got a wee bat. So he goes up on top of the bed. And we've got another nice big candelabra here. Awesome, that just goes right at the top of the stairs. Definitely not the easiest stairs to get up, that's for sure. Maybe that's where the smoke's coming from, the candelabras. Yeah, I think there is. I just don't think I built it yet. In fact, yeah, looking at the box, there's kind of a wee bit of a snot build with a slightly sort of extending frame that runs around the top of the chimney there. So, because funny, yeah, I was looking at that thinking that can't be the chimney finished. I'm not sure why they split it over different bags, but pretty much finished here now then, so there's just a few pieces left to pop in. No, we're not quite done yet. Like I said, I'm not sure why I didn't complete the chimney and add sort of set of steps in within that bag, but there is surely some sort of reason. And there's a curious little flower then that goes in underneath here. Sixth one up. And then that runs the whole length of the building. There we go. Okay, okay. I'm pretty happy with how far we've got there on that build tonight. Or do I just crack open one more bag? Do you know what? We're gonna do it. We're sort of building up things. We'll do one more bag and I'll do it. It's quite a big one here too, and that probably just positions us so we can finish this build on the next live. So it's all sort of more substantial brick and stuff as well, so it shouldn't take too long to pull it all together. Just before I start on to the next stage, I'll just give you a wee sort of view of where we're up to with this build so far. So that's looking really cool. Oh, something's falling. Oh, the skeleton's falling out of his closet. And obviously, yeah, that section opens up. You can get a good view of inside. I'll just pop the skeleton back up in there. I'll try to. There we go. And yeah, you can see sort of a wee bit of inside there. It's a wee bit dark. It's the only one annoying thing, just in underneath this plate at the back here is quite dark. It's quite hard to see, but looking good. Right, so we'll crack on to the next section then. So it looks like we're kind of going to build up the roof a bit here. Let's see, a few larger pieces here. And then this will definitely sort of draw things to our close. I think it's a good point to end as well, to be honest. Yes, I know. So hard to stop. This is one of my major Lego problems. I build really quickly sometimes. I kind of want to get started. It is, well, it's not just my problem, it's a lot of people's problems, but it's just so hard to stop. It takes me back to my football manager days when I'd have been sitting up all night and it was just that constant, I'll play one more match, I'll get to the end of this month, and you just never know when to stop. But this, for fact, is the final bag tonight. And I will not be swayed to do anything more or go beyond. Guys, anyone just tuning in, thank you very much for dropping by. I'm building the Sanderson sisters house from Hocus Pocus. It's one of the Lego Ideas sets. Set number 21341, and it's got 2,316 pieces. It's a fantastically detailed build. It's very enjoyable so far. But yeah, make sure to drop us a wee like if you'd be so kind. Give the stream a wee thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please do. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you do subscribe, then it would massively help me with another little series that I'm doing, where I'm currently working on the Dungeons and Dragons set, which is just sort of hiding down on that back wall there with the boxes. Anyway, you can maybe see the dragon's tail popping up. So I'm adding pieces to that, correlating the numbers of subscribers you get each day, so the more people that sort of join in, the quicker we can get through that build and the quicker we can see the end result. So like I say, I've got a wee series of shorts where you can sort of follow the progress of that, so do drop on by, give us a wee like, give 3 thumbs up. You go 3 subs. And that's enough plugging for now. So I think we're probably going to end up getting a good chunk of the actual sort of pitched sides of the build on here. It's obviously not the roof section itself, but I'd say we're getting both sides built up by the looks of the way this is kind of taking shape. And I have gone to the wrong section of the build. What are you working on now, Britain Bricks? I did subscribe to your channel, and I saw Tina's house, and it is absolutely not a Lego Friends set, and not one that I'm terribly familiar with, if I'm being truthful. It was a fun little build. Maybe not one that I would sort of envisage having within my collection, but it was pretty fun nonetheless. Okay, we're nearly up this side. Just a whole lot of brown here now too. Okay, we've got these pieces here, and then some nice wee wood paneling going in. And that goes on the inside. And 2 more bits on the bottom. Right, and then, so I'm applying some tiles to the outside here now, so it's kind of done in such a way that, so this one goes right to the edge. Yeah, it's done in such a way that it sort of has that kind of crooked wood look to it. You know, that some of the bits of wood have become detached and deteriorated over time. But like, I don't know if you've seen the old fishing shack, another Lego idea set, interestingly enough. If you've sort of seen it, it's similar, you know, the panels are, the plates are attached to just one little sort of anti-stud, or one stud rather, and it just gives you a wee bit of movement on them, so you can sort of move them about to look like they've sort of moved over time or broken and things like that, just to give a slightly older, tattered look to things. That's very neat the way it's done. The problem is you still feel compelled to kind of do it exactly as per the instructions, when realistically, you know, you can kind of get creative and do whatever you want. There's just these 2 wee bits in the top to go on then. There we are, so that's one of the sort of pitch sides done, or that section of it anyway, just a wee bit further up, but you can just see there the way the wooden paneling is kind of a little bit all over the place, just to give that sort of old sort of rustic, worn look to it. Now to go a wee bit further. thought there might be another floor actually, with a bit more detail, but I'm not sure there's going to be. I might be wrong. We'll see when we get to the top. Okay, so this goes on this side. There we are. I'll just spin that around then just so you can see it a wee bit better. So that's kind of on the front side of the house then. Like I said, these can kind of be adjusted and moved about just to sort of just suit the look that you want, depending on how neat and tidy you want the building to look. And then we're doing the same thing on the other side then. Give me a hard time then. There we go. Alright, so it's just a little less sort of detail on this side. It doesn't have any snap bricks, and it doesn't have the tiles running down along the side of the building, so it's just more of a sort of straight back. That just means we can get it built up a little bit quicker. It's kind of hard to get sort of everything into the frame here that I'm doing. The building's kind of getting big and sort of obscuring the way. I'll maybe move the building to this side and bring the pieces to the front here just so we can see what we're doing. So I'll like that. I need to sort of work on this setup a little bit because I'm sort of working off a small desk and it's not ideal. Okay, we're very nearly done. Oh no, we went. There. And yeah, once we get this finished, then that will bring sort of tonight's stream to an end, and again we can make some really good progress. Okay, and then this just goes on to, so this goes on to the side with the hinged brick. Oh, we're missing two, but it kind of just sits one brick in, or one plate in, or one stud in, I suppose, from the hinged walls, so that you still have that nice sort of side profile there and that nice sort of pitch built up for the roof, but we can still open these side bits and gain access into the building itself. And then lastly, because it's just like a beam that runs across the center of the build. There's some wee chains here too. They're not quite going in there. There we go. Two. And one on the other side. Where's that go? 3, 4, 6, 7 phones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't know if this necessarily needs to be precise or not, but it's always nice to build 2 instructions. Now I have 2 chains left, which is a bit unusual. I'm just going to check the part list at the back to see how many you're meant to have, because it just doesn't feel like we should have that many chains left. Where are they? Well, there should only be 2, so yeah, we've got two extra chains for some reason, which is nice. Sometimes with pieces like that, you maybe get one extra. Here we've got 2, so 2 little bonus chains. We're going to throw them into the excess brick pile. I also have 2 3x1 bricks that I haven't put in yet, so I'm going to have to go back through and see where I can stem from. Go back to the start of that section. There's nothing worse than leftover bricks that you know shouldn't be leftover. I don't know where they belong. I haven't seen them pop up anywhere within the instructions. I'd be amazed if there are 2 extra bricks as well that have just been thrown in additional to what I need. There. Bizarre. Ooh. So this where do the chains go? Chains go not above the bed, so this goes here. Yeah, and that just pulls the whole house together then as well. Just provides a nice sort of frame at the top. So yeah, I've got two 3x1 bricks here, but I don't recall seeing them anywhere, and I've just went back through all of the instructions and I don't see them in the instructions anywhere for this section, so I don't know what the crack is there, but I'll not complain. A couple of extra bricks, and that's me for tonight. I think we've made some really good progress there. Just for anyone just tuning in, it was Hocus front of the building, then that's the front door. But the other side, so there's another little section of the building that goes on here, and then this section opens up like so, and that provides you access to the interior. We've got this little light brick as well down here then that lights up the fire underneath the cauldron. It's getting sort of increasingly difficult to sort of see the detail on the inside. I'll try and hold it up, but you can see there's, well, it's not easy, but there's quite a bit going on. Got the bed, all the broomsticks, and sort of the little museum section downstairs then, which you can maybe see there a wee bit better. It's hard to get the light into that wee back section underneath the plate, but it's looking good. So yeah, thank you very much for everyone that tuned in tonight. Stay tuned, Danny will be back to finish this build off next time. But yeah, it's looking really good, really happy with that. See you all later, have a good evening.